According to dictionary.com, a volunteer is a person who performs a service willingly and without pay. Volunteers help those individuals who are less fortunate. There are many different avenues to volunteer. Many people can volunteer abroad in third world countries, providing whatever services the people need there. Others can help at organizations that aid people with disabilities. Many people find joy in working at homeless shelters and soup kitchens, while others are also needed to help the elderly with their health care who cannot afford it. Lastly, you see a lot of people working in coordination with their church to provide services for the local community and communities worldwide. Despite the common stigma that follows volunteering, it isn't really just free work. Volunteering, like just about everything else in the world, is centered heavily around money. Many nonprofit organizations are set up to serve the public and fill a gap in society. Some examples of these groups are the Red Cross, the Humane Society, and the American Cancer Society, just to name a few. These organizations rely heavily on donations and volunteers to function. Many believe that these organizations are key to getting more people involved in volunteering. However, many people aren't sure how to help or to find out where they are needed. But there are a couple of solutions in sight.
There is a website here in Owensboro called helpsomeone.org, and that's a place that we can all go, and that's really the idea of that is to match up places that need volunteers with people who want to volunteer.
This is just a local solution, but these types of websites exist all over the country. Other experts point to early incorporation and setting a foundation of volunteering to get students interested in volunteering early on. Many school-sanctioned clubs are service-based, and they offer students a chance to get out and help out in the community while volunteering. Some examples of these are the Beta Club, the Key Club, National Honor Society. These clubs have a required amount of service hours members must meet to stay in good standing. Experts suggest that this requirement is good for the clubs, but in other settings it may not be as ideal.
At all, because I think it could be a very positive learning experience for young people. I guess my problem with it would be if you're not doing it because you want to,
Right.
and somebody's made to do it, then I don't, I would hate for somebody to be made to do something that they don't want to do. I would rather them choose to do it. That's why I like Beta Club,
Yeah.
is that you choose to be
Sign
a part
up.
of it. Yes. And so the mandatory part, is that part. I don't love that. That, and then you don't graduate if you don't be a part of it. But I can see so many benefits of young people choosing to.
While this is a heavily debated topic, volunteering made mandatory, you do have to look at the possible benefits, but again at the possible negatives that are associated with this. Like Ms. Payne said, a student shouldn't be forced to do anything he or she doesn't want to do, but at the same time, a student may not know what they like until they've done it. Now that you know some avenues in which you can volunteer and some possible solutions you can use to combat the shortage of volunteers and how you can get more people volunteering, let's talk about why you should volunteer. Many studies show that people who volunteer overall have a higher satisfaction of life. This just means that people who volunteer overall are happier with their lives than those who aren't. But another reason you should volunteer is because there are people out there that need your help. And just because you have it made better or these problems aren't related to you, doesn't mean that you can't do your part and help those who can't help themselves.